full-on party now with characters that we can now continue the rest of the game with. Hello and welcome back to Nier. Our immediate objective is to go deeper into the junk heap than we ever have before, ignoring the rats on our running or skittering around on our feet here.
It's a shame about the older lad. He was but a child. He died protecting the only family he had left. It's a damn shame.
I think we should make a beeline for the elevator and probably just head as deep as we can possibly go in the interest of going further than we have before, like I said. And hopefully we'll be able to kill enough enemies in order to get some of the items we need for that other side quest we have.
The elder brother postponed his joy for the sake of his sibling. Do you think he was ever truly happy?
Seems we've been shut in, interrupting the dialogue, unfortunately.
He was able to help shape the life of his brother.
Can't help but notice that Kaine doesn't have very much to say about this whole situation, although I'd imagine she's pretty bummed about it. Oh, jeez, that guy came out of nowhere. And it looks like there are now bombs in this room, so we might have an obstacle to destroy here coming up pretty soon. Are we locked in anymore? Yes, we are. Oh, hello. Well, I'm not gonna. Oh, okay, yeah, immediately. I was going to say that I'm gonna try to be smart and not pick up a bomb immediately and then have it blow up in my face while I'm looking for a barricade. So that's progress, but can we go through here as well? We can. Is it a dead end? It's not. It's another platform like that. That might actually be the same one that we've been to before. Although the map is grayed out right there, so I'm not really sure what that represents. But either way, we're gonna stick to the more obvious path here and see where it takes us. Which, of course, is to more enemies and turrets. Nothing in that box, too bad. More of the flying enemies. I think they dropped something last time we were here. Oh, of course, the dented metal boards. How could I forget? We're gonna have an awful lot of those at the end, I'd imagine, and there's more bombs here too. Seems we've been shut in. Okay, this was a dead end, as I could have seen that if I had opened up my map, but the rooms to the north look pretty interesting, so that'll be our next goal. Oh, Emil got launched up there. Oh, Kaine too. Good old Phoenix Spear. Oh, the dodge attack just one hits all the turrets. That's nice. I mean, I think everything has so far. And those bombs definitely don't seem to serve a purpose, but it's nice that they're there, I guess. These ones either. Very, very interesting. Alright, back the way we came, and then we'll head north this time. And this probably leads to. Oh, that doesn't open. Yeah, broken. This also leads to another dead end. I'm gonna go ahead and forego that path then and see what's up north further. That's another broken door, and we need more bombs here. Does that... Okay, I'm gonna guess that we go through these north rooms and come back around, and we'll have to use a bomb in order to sort of create a shortcut there. So I would be surprised if one of our objectives is not over here, and we're shut into this room with these holes and exhaust of steam, I presume. A lot of vents to deal with. And boxes, some that we can destroy and some that we can't. There's some amber. Looks like we can move these boxes serve any purpose whatsoever. Oh, ouch. Oh, let's try to not do that again. I've already, after so few videos, become accustomed to just hitting triangle and wanting all my problems to go away now that I have the Phoenix Spear. But unfortunately, the Phoenix Spear does not stand a chance against gravity. Definitely a lot more perilous, those holes in the floor, than you'd expect them to be. This looks pretty important. We've been shut in here, too. Oh, that curse, that invincibility, that's very annoying. Just skewer them like that. I'm gonna assume this will end with a boss, or at least a boss-styled enemy, not a proper boss, of course. Bust out the Dark Blast for these flying enemies, because they are very annoying. Although they're getting pretty low for the Phoenix Spear, yeah. Glad that worked out pretty well. The hitbox for the dive move seems very, very wide. Oh, there you are. Oh, I didn't have any magic, of course, because of Dark Blast. Not that we need magic with this new weapon. That's a cool attack, even though it only really effective at that range, or that close range, I should say. There's our first memory alloy that we need. Let's go ahead and heal. Ooh, that was a salve. Okay, I still have 2 more. I'm not sure why it defaulted to that. I probably used it last to heal. Oh, go to the brother's store at the junk heap. I guess we only needed 1 memory alloy. So we're pretty good then, just to finish, although any bombs available to us, I guess not in this room, because we wouldn't even be able to get it to the barricade in time. Oh, hello. I found it. Well, on our way out, I am pretty curious about that room, or that pathway with the tram that was similar to the one we saw before, so we'll swing by there and hope we can do something with it. That isn't wasting a bunch of time. Okay, let's see if we can get this quick enough. Come on, Nier, you can do it. Very nice. Yeah, we just gotta keep going south and then go to the east. Let's see what happens. Try to make this move a little quicker by walking at the top of it, because there's probably going to be turrets and enemies that spawn. But as usual, they're no match for our Dark Blast. As long as I can aim it properly, which is a challenge in and of itself. At least we can get some MP back while we're not killing the turrets, get something out of it. I'll be very surprised if this doesn't lead to a dead end. Taking quite a bit of damage, but really trying to do my best to mitigate it a little bit. Awful lot of stuff happening here. these doors definitely looks like a dead end. Oh, that was okay. That was Kaine's fault. It was a little scary. Thought the game was trying to prevent me from going any further. We're shut in here too. That was a little scary with the. Oh, another one. Maybe we'll get another memory alloy. I thought the game was trying to prevent me from going. Whoa, that did a lot of damage. I thought the game was preventing me from going any further, but it was just kind of standing in my way. Just relax over here. Not even look at the boss while we kill him. Okay, titanium alloy, but yeah, I think we only needed one memory alloy for the quest. So now what I'm hoping is that this will eventually give us another path out of the junk heap. Because it would be pretty unfortunate to have to do all of that again just to get out of here. But of course that is something I'm willing to do. Actually, I suppose this could be the path now, maybe. Not really sure where I am at the moment. Kind of interesting. I'm sure any of these will give us bombs. After we defeat all the enemies here, but we're gonna go for this room because it's closest to the barricade. Although, we're probably gonna, okay, we have to go even deeper. Okay. Oh, that was nice and quick. So I guess we'll pick this one up and try to. Oh, well, that's not a good start doing that little loop-de-loop there. Okay, so that bomb is not gonna work. Okay, the ones here will probably. Well, if we're wasting time. Oh, the bombs are already spawned even though the enemies are still here. Well, if we're wasting time, we're at least working towards progress on that quest. Oh, that's not smart. Very not smart. Alright, as long as we can get this out here and then throw it right there. Yeah, we're good. Let's see what's up here now. Or down here now, I should say. It looks like it leads to a very large open room. Probably another titanium alloy. These big rooms, I wouldn't be surprised if these big rooms were a little bit of a, maybe a farming spot for this item. This should do a decent amount of damage if I don't get knocked out of it. Ooh, that hurts. And that's why we just arc blast from a distance. Like usual. And another one. I bet you the third one's gonna spawn from that one. Okay, glad I dodged away for that one because it wasn't the projectile one that he did before. Sheesh. I'm gonna just use a salve here. And there ended up only being 2 instead of 3, and not 3, rather. there's some rooms off to the side, but I swear I am so hopeful. I'm thinking there's an elevator here. Well, that'll be a learning experience if there isn't, though. Does this lead back to that previous area? No, that's a door broken, so this is the only, or broken door, so the only way. If there's gonna be a way out, it'll be in here. Oh, flying enemies. Oh, I thought I was maxed out on these items, but I'm just having trouble picking them up. And my health is low again. Oh, and I forgot that I was on a salve. Well, they're not a limited resource. We'll be okay. Machine oil, that looked like a rare drop. Oh, that looks like a locked door. Okay, no, it's supposed to be on the minimap. Don't fail me now, come on. Oh, is this gonna transfer us to a new area? Okay. We are exploring in the junk heap this time. Real thoroughly. Depths. Okay, well this room looks very, very interesting. Probably the ring around the boss that we fought before. Yes, okay. Well, at the very least, if it's not where we're supposed to be, it's visually interesting. And also very reminiscent of some of the earlier areas in Nier Automata as well. Even though we've seen it before. Excuse me. But thank you for your broken battery. Ouch. Got stun locked a little bit there just for a second. That's an elevator. First floor. Oh, thank goodness. I was really afraid I might have to cut the video and get back outside. I know it's been 20 minutes, but we've come full circle. Or maybe we haven't. What is this? The spear beast curse. I think I may have come here a little early, but the thing is that I don't. Yeah, look how much weaker this is than the phoenix spear. Looks pretty neat though. Well, nothing for us to do here, so we will just drop down right out of the boss arena. Okay, I think I can get out from here now. Definitely been a little bit of stumbling in the dark here. I appreciate you bearing with me. There's the surface. Okay, and this will put us on the side because this is where we came, or where we exited from on one of our previous junk heap visits. Controller disconnected for a second there. It's wired to my PS3. It's because it's charging because my controller's low on battery, but the wire is very finicky, so sometimes it'll just decide to crap out on me. I'm surprised it's the first time it's done it in this whole video, though. That's some pretty impressive stuff you found. I'll start upgrading your weapon right away. I won't charge you for it either, since you helped me out. Well, actually, this is gonna take a little more time than I thought. No sense in you waiting around. I'll send you a letter once it's ready. That would be great. So we have definitely started Oh, we can upgrade Beast Curse if we wanted to, but we're not gonna do that. What do we need here? We need 3 gold ore and 2 giant eggs, yeah. Alright, well, we are good to head out of here now. It seems we have some free time on our hands. We can head for the Forest of Myth, or we can go speak with Popola. I was honestly going to go speak with Popola anyway, or head back to Nier's village, but presented with this option, why don't we head for the Forest of Myth? Popola said we might be able to find something in the Forest of Myth. You will forgive me if I seem less than enthusiastic about such a trip. And, of course, we will forgive him. Now I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that going back to the Forest of Myth in Part 2 might have involved some reading segments. And we're already towards the end of this video, but we'll start them and then we'll pick them. Hopefully we won't have to leave off at a bad point, but we'll pick them up immediately in the next video if that is what we're going to find. If you remember, this scaffolding always has a ton of medicinal herbs, so we'll probably be able to max out on these right now, which will be great after our extended trip into the junk heap there. Well, maybe not quite max out. What are we at? Oh no, we did just enough. That's great. Where's my boar? There you are. It's kind of a bummer that we haven't decided to give the boar a name. It's always just the boar.
Something appears to be amiss with these creatures. Yeah, they're shades. That is not what I meant. How to explain it? You think about it while I kill them.
Speaking of boars, there's another one right here.
This is the village from the dream. Yeah. Truly a nightmare I hope never to experience again. I hear you.
You know what? Why don't we call him Boris Karloff? Yeah, that's good. That's his name now. His name's Boris. Oh, hello. Hi there. How are things? Huh? You want to know if anything unusual is happening? Well, I have been feeling a rather strange presence whenever I visit the Divine Tree. The Divine Tree? Yes, it's a legendary tree that exists in the heart of our village. I believe it to be that one right there, that large tree. It looks like the Deku tree a little bit. Or Deku tree, however you want to say it. Did you investigate the cause of this presence? Not really, no. And why not? Well, we're not really supposed to go near the tree except for prayer. And why is that? I don't know, alright? It's just how things have always been. Good old tradition. Weird. There's something strange happening with the Divine Tree. Oh, that reminds me, I have a rather interesting story for you. Would you care to hear it? Well, you know we do. Therefore, so, as a pretense for in fact, furthermore, oh no, I thought there would be more. I'm so sorry that I missed that. what Vice says. Such a fascinating tale. Nier, are you being serious? Of course not. We'll be on our way the second time around. Can we talk to the villagers? How are they doing? The key to the Shadow Lord's castle? You're talking crazy talk. Anyway, enough of your madness. Let's talk about my story. Oh my gosh. On that very day, I'll try to go through this a little quicker, but hopefully not miss any of the words still. Oh, these are full pages of dots. And this is a bold move. Ever after. Nier and Vice are doing it now too. Well, at least they were thorough. Quite. What unusual activity here? No, I don't think so. But I do have an incredible story for you. Want to hear it? Talk to the villager. Last one. And there's only 2 villagers here. It's not so bad. We can spend some of our time. It was. However, meanwhile, my wife was. And the dismembered corpse had. The real culprit was. Who was the real culprit, though? I gotta know. Can you believe it? Yeah, that's quite a story. Quite the story. I am impressed. Much of this story had been hidden from us, and yet you seem to grasp it. Don't be an idiot, Vice. I don't understand a goddamn thing that's happening right now. That story, I imagine that story was just a Danganronpa trial. See, heal and uses medicinal herb. And let's see what happens. A mysterious voice without a name says, "We are the grass, we are the trees, we are the woods." Why do we seem to encounter nothing but odd people lately? You should talk, Vice. Pah, as if Grimoire Vice is capable of spouting such nonsense. Hang on, I don't think he's done. The dark form that governs all memories. May the words form themselves to your liking. That would be nice. Black, pure darkness, painted over everything. Words scattered here and there across the blackness. Kind words, difficult words, amorous words, all sparkling in the dark like jewels. The words were few now, but time was shorter. Grabbing the words in desperation, the tree turned to the sky. "This is wrong," whispered the tree in the voice of wind through the leaves. "This is not how it was supposed to be. The plan has failed. Once, long ago, the tree had remembered everything about the world. This was its task, its purpose. It shivered with something approaching joy as it collected the memories of mankind. This was no accident. Emotions were as much a part of the tree as root and bark. Memories collected like dew on the thick green leaves of the tree." Excuse me, I had to clear my throat a little bit. And once they had formed a web that spanned the entire world, and my controller disconnected, words collapsed into sunlight before passing through the leaves and into the pool of memory. From the pool, the words joined together to form colonies. The colonies united into whirlpools of light, and the light coalesced into stars. Each star was like a child of the tree, and it loved them all. Look at my memory. A child is here, brought low by disease. He is far too young to have suffered so. Thin beyond words, the boy's skin is a shade paler than the bleached hospital sheets upon which he lies. His parents no longer visit him, for they cannot bear to watch him suffer. The doctors have long since surrendered his fate to the gods. The boy, too, has abandoned hope. Strange emotions, weariness, hatred swell within the dark recesses of his young heart. He tries to reject the black terror that germinates in his body, but no amount of effort or tears can drive the invader away. He has long ceased to resent his parents and doctors. Once he did, but now his pain is so great that there is little room in his heart to think of others. Only one person brings the boy comfort, a healthy young girl with tan skin and deep blue eyes. She is a beacon of brightness and light in the boy's world. Her very presence is a comfort to him, but he is unable to look upon her face. Whenever they meet, the boy is filled with loathing for his own state. Soon this loathing eats away at what joy he receives from the girl's visits. The girl will stop coming. He knows this. His every waking moment is spent in fear of this day. He thinks that if he could talk to her, if he could tell her of his feelings, that this might not be so, but this conversation never happens. The girl disappears. The boy dies alone. The tree scoops up this memory and carefully stores it within itself. Etched upon it is a single word: envy. Look at my memory. There is a female warrior. Her greatest enemy is a beast with red eyes that she cannot fully comprehend. When she strikes it with her sword, it turns into a pillar of salt and dies. But when the white smoke clears, a new enemy rises, and another, and another. The warrior knows that her struggle is folly, but fighting the unending stream of enemies fills her with a sense of joy and purpose. Somewhere deep in the warrior's drug-addled mind lies a vague memory of a daughter. Perhaps the child exists only in her head, the dying remnants of a powerful dream. She does not know. Her friend and fellow warriors come and go. Some flee in terror, some are eaten. She began the fight with 33 companions, but most are gone now. The warrior's body shudders. She does not understand why at first. By the time she hears the fierce, low sound, the arena is already enclosed in darkness. Looking up, the warrior sees a beast so large that it blots out the sky. She's laughing. She's been doing so for as long as she can remember. Covered in blood and dirt, the warrior laughs. She laughs and laughs until the town that contains her daughter collapses into a pile of dust. This memory has been stored for a long time. It is etched with a single word: loss. Look at my memory. A red dragon falls from the heavens. Ah, that memory has been lost. A shame. It was a favorite of mine. As I mentioned before with that NPC dialogue in the library, this is a reference and a little tongue-in-cheek lack of elaboration, in my opinion, of the ending of Drakengard 1 that Nier derives from. After many centuries of existence, the tree saw that its carefully labeled memories were beginning to dwindle. Once seemingly infinite, the memories now seemed ready to disappear forever. The tree did not feel sadness at this. Grief was an emotion beyond its comprehension. It did, however, have the distinct feeling that something was missing. The mountain of memories it had so carefully assembled had disappeared. The tree stretched its branches as far as it could, but new memories refused to flow. The pool of memories was a black, empty pit, a hollow place where life had once flourished. The tree had lost its purpose. There was nothing to be done but sift through the few remaining memories littering the ground under its branches. This is why the tree was pleased when the man and his companion entered the room. Well, this place is gloomy as hell. The room Nier had entered was almost completely empty. All he could see were a few crystals scattered haphazardly on the ground. Picking up one of the crystals and peering into it, Nier suddenly saw a familiar sight. It was the Forest of Myth, its villagers prisoners of their own dreams. I apologize, the tree thought. That is all that remains. As Nier stared at the jewel, bewildered, a voice suddenly called out from the depths of his mind. The voice implored them to listen. It was an order. Following it was mandatory. Abruptly, the pair realized that they must listen. They must listen. Look. A small, shadowy presence appeared from beneath the floor. It looked to be a shade. The shade grasped several jewels in its hand. More jewels tumbled out of its mouth like shards of broken teeth, sights and sounds tingling from each one before vanishing forever. The creature was abusing the memories, treating the precious objects like a collection of cheap playroom toys. The shade appears to be consuming the memories. That little thing, it's barely worth my time to kill. The tree extended a branch toward Nier. Without a second thought, Nier brought his blade down on the shade, tearing its stomach wide. Jewels burst from the shade and poured across the chamber floor. Look, thought the tree, there is the conviction memory I had lost, and satisfaction, and many others as well. Yes, this is good. The tree opened its mouth and attempted to speak, but no sound emerged. A millennium of silence and solitude had caused the tree to forget certain things, but rather than be upset, it greeted the development with good cheer. Focusing all its power on the riddle of speech, the tree formed a kind of makeshift vocal cord and tried again. I implore, hack. It spat out a glimmering jewel. One more time. I implore you. There we are. What was the color of the lost envy? Her eyes were blue. It spoke. The shade has intelligence and emotion. Who cares? Nier brushed Vice's comment aside as his sword sliced through the shade's right arm. The shade extended its remaining arm to Nier. I must touch him. I must make contact. The moment its fingers brushed against Nier, the tree felt a warm sensation begin to burn. Something hot coursed through its fingers, up its arms, and out to its entire body. It was emotion more than the entity had felt in centuries. The tree cried out in surprise and joy. 1,000 years alone, 1,000 years in quiet contemplation. The tree felt like it was going to break apart. For long centuries, the tree had been alone, its heart sealed with heavy chains, but no more. New, powerful emotions began to take hold, causing its heart to lighten. This was more than the simple emotions that it had been designed to feel. It was the beginnings of a soul. And the man was the key. This was the promise made long ago. This was how it would be released. The tree's stomach began to throb in pain, a new and unpleasant sensation. But the time was not yet right. I implore you, how many were lost by the warrior who fought the red-eyed beasts? Her daughter and 33 friends. Okay, riddle time is over. I'm gonna kill this stupid shade once and for all. Something round and shiny fell from the open stomach and clattered to the floor. The key, shouted the book. Grab the key. The man's sword slowed. Time began to dilate around them, stretching and slowing. Time is essential. The next word must be heard. The words exploded. It became difficult to discern their meaning. The pool of memories began to crack as infinite blackness burrowed its way into the wall. Vice, this world is falling apart. Nier, how can a world of letter? I implore. Most important thing. World. Yona, Yona, Yona. The light was complete. The memories disappeared. The tree's identity began to dissolve. As the letters slowly faded, Nier was drawn back to the real world. and the tree was satisfied. What in the... I never realized that shades were capable of rational thought. I don't care if they can tap dance and play the fiddle. Can't I just kill something without all this voodoo nonsense? With the tree defeated, we no longer have to worry about being buried in its world of letters. Unless, of course, time itself begins to rewind. Obtained the memory tree key to the Shadow Lord's castle, and man, do I love those segments. Well, what next? Check to see if the letters arrived from the younger brother, or go speak with Popola. We are going to go speak with Popola. Maybe Popola has some new information. Let's go see her. Very well. And those two objectives both have very similar locations, obviously, so maybe we can do both. Maybe we can really choose, and there goes my controller again. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Those novel segments are just so much fun to read. They're written in a very concise and direct way, but they still evoke so much imagery, and they really get your old gears turning up here, imagining what any of it could mean and the relevance it has, if any, to what we're dealing with right now. So I think those are expertly handled and also expertly localized as well. The team, whoever was responsible for porting this game over, did a really good job. Thank you so much for watching, and we will go back to Popola and see what's going on in Nier's village in the next one. Take care.